Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade, and in this video we're going to be talking about the power of our mind to create the reality that we are living. This is a very different video from the ones that I have been making in the past, but I thought it relevant because probably you don't know, if you don't follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, you 100% don't know about it. But I had a very delicate, powerful, a little bit traumatic experience. Maybe some people might think that I'm exaggerating, but it was really an experience that was significant in my life and that really put things into perspective and allowed me to not only get scared but also to really understand how powerful our mind can be when we create our own reality. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get started and share a little bit of what has been going on in my life. So as you guys know, I am from Mexico and I have been living in Finland for quite a long time. Well, I have been planning to go to Mexico since the last year, but due to the pandemic, I haven't been able to do so. I had been planning to go this year in the autumn, and there was a huge misunderstanding that happened I think a little bit over a week ago, actually exactly a week ago, where I got to know by accident in our family chat, like my family chat with my Mexican family, there was a little bit of a misunderstanding because I knew that my dad had been getting sick, and I knew that my dad was sick. Okay, I knew that he was not feeling good. I was talking with my mom on a video call when we realized that he was like having a little bit of a fever. And then I was like, well, like you probably should rest or something like that. No one really paid much attention to it. He had been feeling bad for a few days, like not really like feeling like with fever, but just like tired overall. And so I knew that he was sick. And on Tuesday morning from last week, well, one Tuesday morning, it doesn't matter the week, I woke up and I heard a very alarming voice message from my mom, who had sent it into the WhatsApp family chat of my Mexican family. And she was saying that to my cousin that, hey, don't come at the moment to the house because Gustavo, that's the name of my dad, he has COVID. And I was like, what? I mean, a lot of the members of my family have had COVID in Mexico. My granddad died because of it. But the fact that now it's my dad, I mean, my granddad died in December from last year. I didn't got to say goodbye, didn't got to see him. Last time I saw him was in December 2018. So that was a little hard. But I'm not here to talk about my granddad, so let's go back to the topic. Like, I know this is a difficult situation that a lot of us have lived with the pandemic ongoing, but the fact that this time it was my dad, and with the previous experience that, oh my God, that had happened to my granddad. And of course, a lot of people, a lot of like my family members, they tell me like, oh my God, like you can't compare, like your granddad, of course, he's like a little bit older, so there's no point in comparing. Your dad, it's definitely over 60, but it's not like old. And I was like, well, you're not cheering me up, because the thing is that I got let's not make the story very long. I got very scared because I thought like, yeah, well, chances are that he could get COVID, and both of my parents are over 60 years old, and I am here in Finland. And my parents live, I come from a city or like a smaller town in Mexico that it's near Mexico City, but it's still 1 hour away from Mexico City. So the moment I just like my brain, the moment I heard the voice note of my mom in the family chat, my mind just started going and going, like just thinking of all the most horrible possible scenarios. I start feeling just like this cannot be happening to me. Like it is not possible that if my dad is sick and my mom is taking care of him, chances are that my mom also gets sick. And I am here, and I'm not just gonna stay here and just hope that things are gonna improve somehow, because there's a lot of people in Mexico that they are not necessarily able to stay home. And if my parents are like my mom and my dad, and they need to my mom has to go to work, or they have to go and get the groceries, or they need to pay whatever things to the bank, I am like, oh my God, they are alone. Like, it's not like my family can go like every day to help them, especially because they were taking care of my grandma. So whatever. The point is that I really got scared. I really started thinking of the most horrible possible scenario, and I was like, this is not gonna happen to me. I'm in Finland, it's almost summer, summer holidays are coming, and I just thought like, I would never forgive myself if, knowing that there is such a virus existing in the world and that my dad has it, that I could not go to Mexico and do the best I have within my hands. So allowing them to, stay home inside, to take care of myself, of the groceries, of whatever the house may need. All of these things, I thought like, I just have to get there. So I'm talking about the power of our minds in this video, because our minds are very powerful. If you don't know, and of course you probably don't know, I have also been in a 1-year journey to kind of like become more self-aware, which I have been really enjoying this journey, and also with the idea, with the plans of actually, making my own business, finding my passion, monetizing this passion of mine, and helping in my own way, besides whatever I do as a full-time job. So yeah, anyway, why am I saying this? So I am saying this because throughout this journey of my self-discovery and of like me starting my entrepreneurial journey, I have had the luxury of going at my own pace, of going little by little. Sometimes I feel fearful and I am like, oh God, no, I don't feel ready to start a YouTube channel because I feel very insecure about the way I speak. And I had the time until I got the camera, until I got the microphones, until I learned how to edit, until I got the confidence to be in front of my camera, right? And then with my entrepreneurial journey, I was like, well, I'm going to work with a coach. I'm going to work on my transformation. So I had the luxury of time, the luxury of really not being in a rush to get anywhere and to take my time. And a lot of times when these fears appeared, I was like, well, I'm not in a life or death situation, so I'm just gonna go at my own pace, let it be. But with this situation, I compare it because I'm talking in this video about the power of our minds. And in the situation where I was, me going through my self-awareness journey, me planning on how do I want to start my business, the only pressure I could put was like my own pressure, because financially I have no pressure. Of course, everyone would like to, maybe have more financial freedom, but, technically speaking, I'm not in a bad financial situation at the moment. Could be better, but I'm not in a bad situation. So I feel not such a hurry to like, oh my God, I need to launch it right now. And I get the luxury to just deal with my fears in the rate that I consider them appropriately, like in the rate that feels comfortable to me. However, when this situation happens and my brain just creates a reality, because there was a huge misunderstanding, which I'm going to share in the end, but my mind really created a reality where my dad is sick, my mom is taking care of him, they are in Mexico, they are in their town, they are alone. The rest of the family, it's like about an hour away from them. I am here, my parents are over 60, and my mind created the whole panorama. It created the whole reality, and I was like, action. Yes, first I was like 1 hour in trauma response. I was just like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And then I was like, okay, Jade, it is less risky at the moment to travel. It's still risky, but if you take all your precautions, you can definitely do it. And you have to be there. So once I have made up my mind, I think I woke up that day, I was very tired. I fell asleep in the sofa with my clothes. I have had a very, very, very tough day the previous day. I had just applied for my Finnish nationality. And then, so I had a very long day. I woke up that day at 6 a.m. I was done by 10:30 p.m. I just went to the sofa. I thought that I'm just gonna lay down for a little while, and I pass out in the sofa. But because we're in Finland and the days are in the summer, they are so bright, at 5 a.m. I was already awake. And I remember that I saw this text and I was in this trauma response for around an hour. And then after I had processed all these things, and I've decided that I need to get my ass to Mexico no matter what within the next 48 hours. Once my reality in my brain had changed, I acted. I called the rector of the university where I work at 7 a.m., explained the situation. By 9 a.m., I was having because in Finland, you still need the permission, because of course we're getting more people vaccinated and whatsoever, but it's still not so super safe to travel. So of course you need to kind of ask permission or, see if it's okay that you can travel. And I wanted to be clean and honest and have all the permissions, be super transparent. So I called and of course get the permission so that I would take some of my holidays, but to have also the permission to work from distance. So by 9 a.m. I was already having a meeting with my direct boss. By 2 p.m., they had already confirmed me that, yeah, there's no problem. I can definitely go and take care of my parents, which has been one of the kindest acts that I've witnessed from my boss and from the rector and just from the place where I'm working. And then I also right after that, I also I have a full-time job, but I also have a part-time job. So in my part-time job, I am a waitress. So at midday, I was also talking with my boss at the restaurant. I explained the situation. By 5 p.m., she had also told me okay, Heather, we're gonna handle it. You're good to go. And by 6 p.m., I was already packing, reserving flights, reserving hotels, reserving train tickets. Everything was done so that next day morning I would be going into a train to Helsinki, and the next morning 7 a.m. into Amsterdam, and from Amsterdam to Mexico City. So basically, within a time lapse of 5 a.m. when I woke up to 6 p.m., within 13 hours, in the reality that I had created in my brain, I did a mess, yes, but I got so much done. There was once I decided, and I talk about decision because so many people, and it's just this word that people tell once and again and again and again, that you need to decide. And it's what do you need to decide? But you need to decide. And I think by accident, of course, I never looked to create this situation for myself. I decided that I needed to go to Mexico, and I created my reality was the one that I created in my brain, and I act accordingly, and I got just so much done within 13 hours. I was able to arrange everything, change my life kind of upside down in that little amount of time. And of course then, thanks to God, my dad called me at 6 p.m. and he was okay, what are you doing? And I was what do you mean, what am I doing? And he was yeah, why are you coming here? I'm are you crazy? I was very mad with my parents. I told you guys didn't told me anything. And then my dad was hey, but I'm all right. And my mom had already talked to me, and I'm hey, I'm not gonna buy that. Of course, me living in Finland, my parents always take super good care of me. They try to, be very cautious with the things that they tell me so that I don't worry. But this time I was hell no. Hell no. There's no power in the world that it's gonna stop me from getting my ass to Mexico, taking care of my dad, and ensuring that both of my parents are okay. Anyway, so he called me, he explained me it was a huge misunderstanding. He didn't have COVID. He had got the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, and he was probably getting some sort of reaction to it or something. So between regardless, they didn't really focus much on knowing whether it is or it is not COVID. But since they had gotten the vaccine, he was just having a reaction to the COVID vaccine. But the thing is that no one cared to tell me that they were gonna take the vaccine. So when I'm lacking that essential piece of information, of course, my brain goes all crazy. So that's what happened. Luckily, it was a misunderstanding. my dad did not have COVID. He was having a reaction to the COVID vaccine that I didn't know they had taken, both my mom and my dad. So yeah, huge misunderstanding. I felt so ashamed. I had to then call my bosses and be like, okay, thank you for the support. I'm eternally grateful. I've never seen this kind of support from like Finnish working places. I mean, I had before, but not from a place where I'm like a full-time worker. I think like, as a waitress, as a part-time job, probably, you are not such an essential worker. But just to, have such a fast response from the university, from my full-time job, and also from my part-time job, because even if it might be a little bit easier, it's summers, and we all know that in restaurants during the summertime, it's busy. So that really meant the world for me. I've never felt like so supported, and that was so beautiful. But okay, so after I apologized, after we realized there's actually no need for me to fully rush to Mexico without me being vaccinated. I am now vaccinated. I got my first doses around like maybe 3 days ago. So yeah, I'm gonna be traveling to Mexico in the end of the year. But really, when I got to reflect on all this experience, I was like, our brains really do create our reality. And our decisions, the decisions when we actually decide something, where we actually put all of our thoughts, all of our commitment into one thing, into something, really things can change this fast. Now, I am kind of like struggling, thinking like, okay, well, how can I create that kind of reality where I can really, not feel scared, for example, for launching my business or for creating the perfect messaging for it, because that has been one of the things that has stopped me the most. I'm like, And, since I do have like my part-time job and my full-time job, I have the luxury of not being I don't have the pressure to be fast or to take like immediate action. But after experiencing this, I really see that you do create your reality, that your brain is so powerful, more powerful than you could ever think. And now I'm just figuring out how can I get myself into a state where I could recreate the same speed, the same actions, and the same decisions, but with my everyday life. So like, I am a committed person. I'm a very like hard worker person, but like, how can I get more done, like faster, more efficient? Because honestly, like, and I'm just like mumbling, and like at this point, I'm just like going again and again. But honestly, guys, it was incredible how fast things were able to change once I decided and once I created a different reality in my brain. So I wanted to share this experience with you to really reflect on the power of your mind. I'm gonna be working on this myself. I'm gonna be trying to find ways in which I can bring this kind of decision making and this kind of creating my own reality, so that this reality and this decision could inspire my following actions in a way that the decision leads and my fears don't necessarily are the ones that are always leading. But anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed this a little bit different, a lot different video where I just share one of my latest experiences, most dramatic experiences. I think that after that I had to take like 1 day really like regulating my system and processing everything that has passed, because really your body gets into a very tensious state. But whatever. Anyways, so we create our reality. Our mind, it's super powerful. We get to decide. And I think that when we reach that point of decision, things can really change faster. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. And now I'm just gonna figure out how can I bring this same type of speed, decision, uncertainty, and inspired action into other areas of my life. But I wanted to share this with you. I hope you're having a beautiful summer. Soon it's gonna be Juhannus, so I hope you are having a beautiful day, and I hope to see you in my next video where I'm going to be talking about more things about my life in Finland, my experiences in Finland, and maybe even the part, I don't know what, of the 100 things that I love about this country. But until then, I hope you are well and see you soon. Bye!